Welcome, welcome. Hello, we are live once again. How's everybody doing today? Thanks so much for joining me for another live stream. I hope you guys are having a great week. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything is good to go. Modern Day Tech is in the house. What's going on, Eric? How you doing, man? Great to see you. Let's see. Let me open up this over here. All right, good to go. Boise is in the house. Raul here, sunny California. All right. George Langerbeer, George and Eric is in the house. What's going on, guys? Oh, Frederick. Frederick made it. Looks and sounds great. Thank you, Frederick. Appreciate you. I was kind of scrambling last minute. As always, it seems like I'm always scrambling last minute to get ready for these streams, get everything in place and whatnot. So it was kind of a madhouse earlier. It's half day, so there's a bunch of kids, at the house today. Half day at school. So Jeff from Michigan, what's going on, Jeff? We'll say hi to some folks, then we'll get rolling here in a second. What we do normally, again, if you're new, I see we have a lot of channel members here, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support as a channel member. If you're not a channel member and you would like to support the channel, you can join. It's about $5 a month and you get some perks like our member Discord server, early access to new videos, and some other things like that. You can click the join button down below if you want to check out more information on that. But yeah, let's say hi to some folks, and then we'll get to talking about smart home stuff. There's not a whole lot in the news, or not a lot of new things to really talk about. In terms of like new product announcements and stuff. I think there's some stuff coming soon, it seems like, but not a whole lot today. But there is a couple. We got a couple things to discuss, and so it'll be a great time for questions and just kind of talk about projects. Paul, my man, Paul, thank you so much. Where's the button? We got to hit the confetti button. Thank you, Paul, so much for gifting 5 memberships. As we were just talking about memberships. Thank you for doing that. So Paul gifted 5 memberships. Jessica, Raul, Antonio, Ty Boyle, Good Times. You guys were all gifted a membership, and Jason, thanks to Paul. So thank you, Paul, for that. And if you are lucky enough to get gifted one of these, you get basically a month, I believe it is. And you can join the Discord server if you want. You can come to our member monthly chat. Anything that channel members get, you'll have access for a month. And then if you want to renew that, you can, of course, we would love the support, and you can kind of keep access to those perks after a month if you want. And if not, you don't have to do anything. Dan is here. What's going on, Dan? Lone Star Trent as well. All right. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. It's been kind of a busy one. Been editing and working on shooting some videos and trying to edit today mostly. Has been my day, and then just working on some projects. I know I've been talking about the backyard project quite a bit lately. My whole backyard, well, my whole state right now is covered in pollen. So literally yesterday I was rolling around in the pollen on the back deck, trying to install some lighting and stuff around the back porch, and was literally rolling around in pollen yesterday. So it's a miracle I can even talk to you after, because my allergies don't do too well with all the pollen. But let's see. Thank you, Frederick. Frederick explaining how you can join the Discord server. I appreciate that. And I do probably need to make a little video or something about that, make it a little more clear, because I've had some people ask me questions about that. But yep, if you are a member, all you have to do is go into your Discord user settings once you download the Discord app or go to Discord website. Link your YouTube account in the settings, and then you can get access that way. So thank you, Frederick, for that. Brian, thank you for sharing. Brian says, not sure if anyone saw the Nanoleaf 20% off sale. They teamed up with a few companies for it, Nomad being one of them. Trying out a Matter bulb tomorrow. Hope that they fix their issues. Thank you for sharing, Brian. That was actually one of the things I was going to mention. We'll go ahead and hop into some of the stuff since you mentioned that one already. Let's see. So I've been trying to bring like discounts and deals and stuff to you guys during these live streams when I see them, usually for products that I use, or products that I like. And Nanoleaf, I've got Nanoleaf all over the studio, so that's one of them. And Brian mentioned they do have a big sale going on. So I don't know if you have to use the code, but I did put the code in the description of this live stream if you want to use that. But you can see some of these, different products they have for sale, and you can use that code if you need to for 20% off most of these products. And like I said, I have a lot of these in my studio, and they look really cool. John, all the way from South Africa. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, John. And Clyde says, I've had good luck with the Matter over Thread bulbs and Home Assistant. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Good to hear that. I have not jumped into the Home Assistant thing yet, and I really don't use a lot of bulbs, but I use Matter over Thread other accessories. I've got a couple light strips and smart plugs and things like that. A lot of the Eve stuff is Matter over Thread. Those are all good. Perfect. Thank you, Brian, for all the information. So yeah, and a lot of these Nanoleaf things are quite expensive, especially like the shapes and the lines and the elements and stuff like that. So, I know a lot of people, myself included, like to wait till there's a deal on those more expensive products. So now might be a good time for that. And let's see, James says there's a $5 coupon in Amazon for the Maris garage door opener. Okay, thank you, James. Also, speaking of garage door openers, I think I've got a link to the Tailwind garage door opener. I have an exclusive discount code for that one that they gave me, and it saves you, I think it's 10% off, I want to say. So that's another option for a smart garage door opener. Again, there's a link. I usually put a link to that one down in the description because I get asked about garage doors a lot, and that's the one that I've really liked using that one lately. So let's see here. Let's see if I missed anybody. Just want to say hey to everybody that I can. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day. Mike from Rhode Island. Larry Thomas is here. What's going on, Larry? Albert. Who else we got? Scott is here as well. All right, New Zealand in the house. Awesome. We got members from all over the world. That's really awesome. Canada is here as well. So cool. I'm glad you guys could hang out. Love to hear what you guys are working on. If you have any cool smart home products that you're maybe installing or plan to install, any new projects coming up, it's always kind of fun. I've been working on a lot of maintenance around my house. So I've been replacing some switches. I'm actually going to make a video about this soon, but replacing some switches, and I've just needed to do some maintenance around my house. So it's been kind of just knocking things off my list lately is what I've been doing. Oh, Dawn, thank you so much, Dawn. We got more gifted memberships. Awesome. So cool. Thank you, Dawn. Longtime member as well. Dawn, I appreciate you. Dawn gifted memberships. And by the way, these are like YouTube will randomly select who these goes out to. So Eric Keys, Conman, Tony, Thomas, and let's see, John. I think that's everybody. All were gifted a membership as well. So would love to see you guys over in the Discord server. And we also do a monthly video chat on the first Wednesday of every month over there, which is a lot of fun. We just kind of hang out and do this, but it's kind of like a Zoom with all the channel members. Pretty cool. So Mike says 10% off the Tailwind. Yes, used your discount and just wired the garage door opener today. Awesome. Cool, Mike. Well, how are you liking it so far? I know it's probably hard to say after a day, but hopefully the installation went well and smooth for you. Let's see. I saw a member. Here we go. Lloyd. Using his member chat. That's another perk, I suppose, of being a channel member. You get these member chats you can use in the live streams. So thank you, Lloyd, for hanging out and for being a channel member. Lloyd says, new house looking at adding a rack. Got good info from Discord. Have more questions to ask later. Okay, awesome. Well, by all means, the Discord is a great place for that. We got that little I think it's called the network section, the network channel over there in our Discord server. But yeah, absolutely, ask away over there in Discord. I saw there's been some cool projects and stuff going on with other racks in the Discord server. So that was one of the things on my list too that I need to do. Is I'm back at the point. It's been probably a year since I gave any love to my whole network section, network closet and whatnot, and it's kind of a mess again. So one of the things on my list that I haven't done yet is to clean out that closet again and get that looking real good. It's not photo worthy right now. Yeah, Don, awesome. Using the VIP chat as well here. First live stream I've been able to make in a month or so. Yeah, I was thinking it's been a while, so I appreciate you. I hope hope you've had a good month or so, and great to see you here in a live stream. And again, appreciate those gifted memberships. Brian says, level lock can come out with that matter lock anytime now. Yeah, they must be waiting on the Matter standard to I don't know if they're waiting for that to support like the home key type of functionality or what. I don't know what the holdup is there. The list never ends. Yeah, I feel that 100%. You've gone as far as says Fly Fishing says I've gone as far as I can. Wife limited for automations in the house, now started on the office. That's kind of backwards. I start, well, unless you're talking about your work office. I'm thinking home office. I start in my home office and then kind of it spreads throughout the house. But yeah, it makes sense if you're talking about your work office. So back to some of these discounts here. I know we mentioned Nanoleaf, so let me get through these real quick and we'll start taking questions. You guys feel free, excuse me, to go ahead and ask questions. I will say if you have a question, preface your comment with the word question and it'll kind of be highlighted for me, be a little bit easier for me to recognize it and get to. But some other discounts right now, Narwal. So this is the robot vacuum that I've been using for a little while now, and they've got a big discount going, like $600 off. There's a link to this in the description down below. So I remember one or two people was interested in this in our Discord server recently. So, you know, if that's you, or maybe you've been kind of considering one, this might be a good opportunity to get this one if this is the one you've been looking at. You know, it's, you know, $600 off. That's a pretty good deal. It was $200 off. I had like a discount code that was $200 off, I think, up until this sale. So now, I mean, $600 off is pretty awesome. So just wanted to mention that in case any of you guys are interested in that one. And what else was there? Oh, Eve. There is, I have an Eve discount code also down in the description below. That is good for the rest of this month. And that's for, I think, 10% off anything on their website. So a lot of you guys know I use a lot of these Eve products, and yeah, we've got a discount code for that one as well. So yeah, use it. I think that's good through the end of the month. So use it while you can. Lurk Jerk says only $1,000 for a vacuum. Yeah, some of those vacuums are getting pricey now, though. I mean, that thing right there normally at $1,600, you know, before that discount. So, whew, you know, they are pricey for sure. But that I really do like the Narwal. I've used quite a few different robot vacuums in the past, you know, couple of years, and I'm really liking this one. I think this is going to be the one that's going to stick around for a while in my house. Let's see. Oh, another thing I did want to mention too to you guys. I know we got a lot of Lutron Caseta users. Lutron Caseta is running some deals right now on Amazon. Actually, let me see, I wrote this down. Their deals are, so they've got dimmer kits and Diva dimmer kits between, looks like 17 to 20% off. And you can get these deals at Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, or Amazon, it looks like. So maybe you want to shop around and see where you can find the best deals. But especially if you've been wanting to get into this and haven't yet, they've got these kits for sale right now, usually quite expensive. And it looks like just certain ones are for sale, but you can see here, you can get some of these right now at a discount. And I mentioned that too, especially because one, I really love Lutron Caseta products. Two, they're pretty expensive and they don't go on sale that often. So for those who may be interested in that, check those out. All right, I see we got some questions rolling in. Let me try to get to some of these questions. Brandon, oh, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good week so far. Brandon says, the new Narwal has been working great for us too. Very nice, glad to hear that. HomeKit Techie, what's up, man? How you doing today? Okay, Terry says, just got the Eufy X10 Pro Omni. It's been working great so far. No HomeKit support yet. Yeah, that's the thing. None of these robot vacuums have HomeKit support yet. Eufy X10 Pro Omni. Let me check this one out real quick. I have not used any of the Eufy robot vacuums yet. So price is a little bit better there on that one. Has AI smart cleaning like the Narwal, it sounds like. That's one thing the Narwal does do very well. Interesting. So yeah, I haven't used any of these, the Eufy ones. I've used some of the Roborock ones, but not the Eufy ones yet. Yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon we'll see, you know, robot vacuums in Apple HomeKit through Matter. That would be nice. Now, let me get to some of these questions. I see some highlighted questions here in the chat. And you guys bear with me. I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Parker says, watch the video George put out on Eufy today. Torn on keeping my Aqara Eve HomeKit setup or going all in on Eufy. Any thoughts? Let's see. I wonder if George commented or anybody else commented on that. So, I mean, I'm kind of under the in the camp of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I guess it just depends. If you're having issues with your current stuff, you said torn on keeping my Aqara and Eve HomeKit setup. We're going all in on Eufy. I mean, the problem with Eufy, and I haven't seen George's newest video, so I'm not sure which one. I'm assuming if it's a new Eufy camera, then it doesn't support HomeKit because none of their stuff supports HomeKit or has supported HomeKit in the past, like probably at least 2 years, which kind of sucks. So maybe your question is going from a HomeKit setup, camera setup to like exclusively to like Eufy's whole, I don't know which ecosystem, I don't know if you want to call it that. I mean, again, it depends, I guess, if you're having issues with your current setup, but I think the Aqara cameras are really good. I mean, I have not had any issues with those. The Eve cameras, let's see, I have one in use right now. And, you know, it's probably a matter of HomeKit secure video if that's what you're into or if you want something else. George says he has completely switched to the Eufy cameras and is not missing a HomeKit secure video one bit. So there you go. I guess if you've been having issues or you're tired of HomeKit secure video for some reason, I know personally in my house, that would be a problem because as soon as those cameras are not available in the Apple Home app, I'm going to have somebody calling me, being Miss Whatley, asking me where the heck are all the cameras and why can't I see them in the Home app? So that would be one of the issues for me. So even I do use PoE cameras also, but even those I tie into HomeKit through scripted. That way I can have everything accessible in the Apple Home app. Mainly, you know, for her. I mean, I use it that way too, but that way she just has one app. So I really like all my cameras to be at least available in HomeKit, but probably just a matter of preference there, I guess. Yeah, same thing with the doorbell there. I see they're talking about the doorbell. I just got to have a HomeKit secure video doorbell. You know, I love the the doorbell notification that pops up on the Apple TV and all that. I mean, it's just it's so nice. I can't give that up. So, and you know, it's got to support HomeKit secure video to get that feature, or at least, or you know, you can use HomeBridge or something like that with some of these things too. Clyde, let me answer this one real quick. Clyde says, there is a couple of apps that will sort of show you some things about your thread network. Nothing really good though. Is that I'm not sure if that was meant to be a question. Is there a couple of apps? Maybe. Yeah, like you said, nothing really good. Again, so your thread network. So what I've used before is called the Discovery app. I mentioned that in a recent video. Again, like I said, nothing great, but that's been the best to kind of see if you have a lot of stuff going on in your thread network. You want to kind of see, what all's there, different thread networks and stuff like that. We was actually just talking about thread networks today in our Discord server. And yeah, this Discovery app is what I've used to, that's the name of it, the Discovery app. Oh, different Shane W. There's another Shane. Really? There's another Shane W in here? Let's see. Who is there? Who's out there impersonating? No, I'm just kidding. Huh, I didn't see a Shane W comment. Oh, there it is. Shane W. How about that? Well, hello, Shane W. I just got my first thread device. And thank you, Clyde, for answering this question for Shane W. So I got my first thread devices installed throughout the house. Is there a good way to manage my thread network similar to how I view and manage my Wi-Fi network on the Eero app? Yeah, and like Clyde said, there's no good way. There's a few apps you can use. First and foremost, if you haven't already, download the Eve app. The Eve app will let you see at least what's on your thread network. There has been some issues with that displaying Matter over Thread accessories though, so that may even be an issue if you're using Matter accessories. And then on top of that, like I said, the Discovery app, I don't know if I can find a website for that. But that's the one that I've used when you really need to like troubleshoot, but you can't really like manage anything or change anything there. It just kind of gives you a good view of what's going on. Let's see. Well, I can't find a website for the page. I don't want to open the App Store. But yeah, look up the MDNS Discovery app if you need to kind of see what's on your thread network. Lone Star Trent says, how bright is the Eve flood cam? Whoops. Is it thinking of replacing a porch light? Yeah, it's definitely bright enough for a porch light. I've got one on my back porch and I'm actually thinking about replacing it because before that floodlight was outside. Well, we built this project we've been working on is we built a screen porch. So now that floodlight cam is inside the screen porch and it is so bright. And I like to have the auto on off with motion and everything. But that gets kind of, I don't know, it's kind of annoying. It's very bright. But it's kind of annoying when you're sitting in there and having to change it. So I'm thinking about replacing it with something else just because of the location right there. But yeah, it's definitely bright enough for a porch or something like that, in my opinion. Yes. Switching all my Fire TV sticks to Apple TVs and loving how there's no ads on Apple TVs. Yes. One of the beautiful things about Apple Home versus Amazon's Lady A, all those devices, oh, they love to flood you with ads. At least we know when Apple finally does release a little home hub with a screen, HomePod with a screen, whatever, it won't be inundated with ads like others. Sorry. Amazon Alexa users. All right, let me get up here to some of these questions. I saw Lutron has an office in UK. Will they come to Europe? I do not know. I have not heard anything. I would be surprised. Anything's possible, but I would be surprised. My dream is to have all my units in home and all my automations in Homey Pro. Is that a dream or realistic? Well, Ralph, I think that is possible. Yeah, I mean, as long as your products that you have support Homey, as long as you can, as long as there's that some type of integration into Homey, I don't see why not. I've been actually moving some of my automations over to Homey Pro as well. So yeah, the only issue for me, is I have so many devices that some I still can't get into Homey Pro. But that's one good thing about Homey supporting Matter, and Matter over Thread now. Now, like the newer products, if it supports Matter over Thread, you should be able to get it in there too. So, or Matter over Wi-Fi or anything. So that's nice, and you don't need like a specific integration. But yeah, as long as you can get them into Homey Pro, I don't see why that's not a problem. And then you can, even if it doesn't support HomeKit, you could use that Homey Pro integration, the HomeKit integration, to get stuff from Homey Pro over into HomeKit. You know what I'm trying to say. Justin says, you mentioned previously that you used Nanoleaf for your under cabinet kitchen lighting. Are there other options, or would you choose differently now? No, actually, Justin, I did not. You're mistaken. I am currently using VocoLink. So VocoLink is kind of I don't know if I'll say older, but it was one of my favorites a few years ago, a brand, because they were one of the first to really make quality, affordable smart home products. They've kind of changed management, and some things have changed, I think, in their company in the last couple years. But for a long time, I was using in fact, I'm still using a number of VocoLink smart lights around my house and other products. So yeah, I have VocoLink lights there. I would do something differently if I were to do it now, because I really wanted it for accent lighting when I did the installation colors and things. Turns out I don't use the colors like ever. So if I were to redo it, I would do something and go more in the direction of like functional lighting. So I would go with, actually Nanoleaf has probably the best whites, like bright whites, warm and cool whites for functional lighting. So if I were to do light strips in that section again, I would probably either do Nanoleaf. I would do the Aqara T1 light strips, because I really like the Aqara stuff. Those are Zigbee, so you do have to have an Aqara hub for those. But they also have pretty good whites, and I just love, how fast they are. And I like the Zigbee connection of those, to be honest. So I would either go Nanoleaf or Aqara if I were to do light strips under the cabinets again, or let me see if I can find these. GE is supposed to be releasing some under cabinet lighting soon. Let me see if I can find them that support Matter. So I think these will be Wi-Fi, so that could definitely be a con. I'm trying to find a good picture. So these are a little bit different. This is here. They'll come in 2 or 3 different sizes, and you can link them together. So these will provide very good functional lighting. They actually have these little puck versions too, which you can kind of string together. I like these. I'm really thinking about redoing my setup with these here once they become available. They do color, and again, very functional white lighting. So you may want to wait if you're, if that's something, that looks interesting to you. You might want to wait for those. But light strips, I would probably go with Aqara or Nanoleaf, me personally. Let's see what you guys say. Rick says, Smart Wings blinds, about every 3 or 4 months, they lose connection to HomeKit, and I have to forget it and add it again. Anybody else having the same issue? I've not been. I'm trying. let's see, I installed these for a friend at a friend's house. As far as I know, they worked fine. His were the Matter ones. I recently installed Matter ones in my house, all around my back porch, but I haven't had them for 3 to 4 months. It's only been probably, how long have they been installed? Maybe 2 months, maybe. And so far they've been working well. But I guess the question, Rick, would be, are yours the Matter version or the HomeKit version that may, okay, you said mine are not Matter. Okay, so you've got the HomeKit ones, which were, I guess HomeKit, those were still thread-based. I think HomeKit over thread. I've not used those, so I can't say it. I assume the Matter, version would be a little bit different as far as the connection goes. I can say I did have, actually this week, one of my 9, I think I have 9 of them on my back porch now. One of the 9 went unresponsive, and these do support Matter. So again, mine are, I have them in Homey Pro and HomeKit. I think that's the only 2 places right now, but I had one of them that went unresponsive, and I found out that you can put it into sleep mode and then put it out of sleep mode. So when they ship the product, it ships in what's called a sleep mode. That way it doesn't accidentally like move or whatever, I guess, when they're shipping them. Well, what I did was put mine in sleep mode and then take it out of sleep mode, just, real quick. And for mine, yours is probably different, assuming you can even do that. But for me, I think you hold it for like the button for like 10 seconds, it'll go into sleep mode. And then to take it out of sleep mode, you hold it until it jogs once. And that actually just re-sparked the thread connection or whatever, and it was back online. So maybe that would work for the HomeKit versions as well. Might be something to check out. Sleep mode was part of the installation. Yeah, probably taking it out of sleep mode, but you probably haven't put it into sleep mode. But I don't know, maybe you have. But that actually worked for me this week on the one that I did have go unresponsive. So it was a fix that worked like that. So I was afraid I was going to have to do like you did and remove it. I really didn't want to do that because I actually have, again, like I said, I have mine in HomeKit and in Homey Pro because of that Matter, multi-admin feature. I can add it to different ecosystems. And then with my automations and scenes, I was like, I really don't want to remove this from all of those things because then I'll have to reset everything up. So Govee permanent outdoor lights are amazing. I've been using those for a while. I've got some on the back. That's actually what I was rolling around in the pollen doing earlier this week, was kind of resecuring my Govee outdoor lights. I've got them in a pretty unique installation, I feel like, on my back porch. So I'm excited to show you guys that in a video coming up. Although I will say the Matter integration has not been great for me for the Pro version. It's just not been that reliable. So I've tried a lot of things. So just being honest about that, the Matter integration has not been great, but they look amazing. And I've been using the original version, just the regular permanent outdoor lights on the front of my house for just over a year now, and they've been awesome. I've had those integrated through HomeBridge, and I love them. I just have my whole house like flashing green and all kinds of stuff for St. Patty's Day, so I always have a lot of fun with those. Okay, let's see. We got some more questions I'll get to. Parker asked, any tips on choosing an Apple Home Hub? Whenever my hub switches from Apple TV to HomePod Mini, my automations become unreliable. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for you there. If the HomeKit people at Apple are listening or did listen to this community or the HomeKit community, they already know. Probably the one request that we all want to see is more control over our HomeKit hubs. Unfortunately, there's nothing that you can do. You can unplug hubs and force, another one to take over. You can do that kind of thing, but there's nothing we can do to decide which hub takes over as the primary hub, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't really have a tip. I know some people, I don't have this issue with HomePods or whatever, making things unreliable, but I have heard some people who have actually put their HomePods on a smart plug, and if they have this issue, they just reset the smart plug, to force that, like I said, another hub to take over, which kind of sucks to even have to do that. But I have heard of some people doing that. So oh, Dan has the vocal link under the cabinets too. How you liking those, Dan? I did not realize, or I forgot that you use vocal link under your cabinets as well. I love them. I mean, my cabinets are, again, I would probably go with brighter whites if I were to do it over again, but mine are on like pretty much 24/7. I mean, I just love the lighting in there. Of course, I have automations that when we leave the house and everything, they cut off, but I have them on during the day just as some little bias lighting, and then I guess that's the right word, some mood lighting or whatever throughout the day, and then at night I dim them down. And even when we're sleeping, I have them set real low, real dim, in case kids or somebody needs to get up. So Dan says it's been working fine. Good. Yeah, that's actually been something, one of those, I have not really had any issues with my vocal. I still have a vocal link light strip. Let's see, I have 2 of them in my bedroom, and then I have a couple above and below the cabinets in my kitchen. I think that's it. So I got at least 4 or 5 I'm still using. Yeah, I really think about them. They just work. Ambience. There you go. That's the better word. Thank you. I guess bias lighting is just behind monitors and TVs. Maybe that's kind of that's where I messed up, I think. That's why I want automations in Homey Pro. Yep. I like automations in Homey Pro because you can do some really cool stuff with Homey Pro. I've been playing around with those advanced automations, or advanced flows as they call them. So cool, some of the stuff you can do there. Lone Star Trent, member for 20 months. Thank you, Lone Star Trent, for continuously supporting the channel. Says Apple is testing an ad-supported tier for Apple TV app and don't want to rain on your parade, but this is why Walmart bought Vizio. Yeah, I would be pretty bummed out to see ads come to Apple TV. Definitely would bum me out. Edgar's Home Tech. What's going on, Edgar? Says, someone asked me about HomeKit outdoor cameras with batteries. They are coming from Blink cameras. Any recommendations? I drew a blank when they asked. Yeah, there's not really a lot of options here, Edgar. When it comes to outdoor cameras that support HomeKit with batteries, battery powered, really only options that I can think of is Arlo or Eufy. I think those are the only options battery powered with native HomeKit support. Now, the next question would be, is HomeKit Secure Video important? If HomeKit Secure Video is important, then that takes Arlo out of the equation because Arlo does not support HomeKit Secure Video. Arlo only supports HomeKit. And if you want recordings and stuff like that, they try to lock you into their subscription plan and stuff like that. But you can get the live feed in the Apple Home app through that HomeKit support. And then back to Eufy. Like we mentioned earlier, Eufy, for some reason, has not wanted to support HomeKit with any of their new cameras. So if you want, you have to go with, it's the Eufy. I'll pull up some here on Amazon. Because Eufy has so many cameras now, it's confusing. Let's see. So like the Eufy Cam 2 line is the ones that support HomeKit, not this one. So again, confusing. So these that can connect to the Homebase 2, I think is the name of that one. So the Eufy Cam 2C supports HomeKit Secure Video. And this one right here, the Eufy Cam 2 Pro and the Eufy Cam 2, which looks pretty much the same as this one. So this model and this model supports HomeKit Secure Video, and they are battery powered. Just know that HomeKit support will drain the battery a little bit faster if you're using them with HomeKit Secure Video. So there's some things there. Yeah. Thank you, John. Eufy 2C2 Pro supports HomeKit. Yeah, I use the Eufy Cam 2 Pro cameras for quite a while. And yeah, I mean, they work well. I actually like them for battery cameras. I ended up replacing them when I went with all my PoE stuff. You know, if you can wire something, it's just better. You don't have to worry about batteries and things like that. But speaking of those batteries, you can actually get solar panels for those Eufy 2 cameras as well. So might be something to consider. I did that for one of mine because it was in a high traffic area. The battery wasn't lasting usually more than like 1 or 2 months, I think it was, just because all the traffic it was seeing. And so I put a solar panel attached to that one, and you know, didn't really have to worry about charging it anymore. Oh, there we go. Jeff right there says those Eufy cameras are great with the Eufy solar panel. We put solar on all of ours. Never had to change them, even in gloomy Michigan. Awesome. There you go. Appreciate that, Jeff. So yeah, there we go. Vouching for the Eufy cameras with the solar panels. But again, if you're going with HomeKit, just make sure you're getting the ones that support HomeKit, because all their newer ones do not. See, I think I missed another question up here. 2 of my HomePod minis are acting up. Randomly start playing music or static noise. Wakes me up in the middle of the night. Oh, wow. That is not good, Gary. I am not familiar with this issue. I have not had that issue. You said a reset doesn't work. I mean, I would factory reset that thing and, you know, hope. I mean, that should fix any issues. It's odd that you have 2 of them that are acting up doing the same thing. That's really weird. I would say maybe you have a defective product, but if you have 2 of them, I don't know. That's very strange. I don't know if you've done a factory reset or just a regular like reset, restart, but I would do a hard reset on those, factory reset if you can. And gosh, I don't know. I don't know if replacing them is gonna fix it if you have 2 of them doing that, but it sounds like a defective product. I don't know. I have not seen that issue. Ignacio, glad you could make it here as well. Just saw that comment. Thoughts on the new Hue contact sensor? Let me look this up. I feel like I remember seeing this a little while ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too interested in the new Hue line of like sensors and cameras and stuff, because really they're trying to tie you into their ecosystem again, right? So I don't think these even support HomeKit. Maybe they do. I could be wrong about that. Anybody know, can you use these will these support HomeKit through the bridge? So what they're doing with their cameras anyways is trying to get you to kind of buy into their system. They want you, or their subscription model, they want you to be paying for that every month, you know, in order to use like security features and stuff like that. So I assume that's the case here, but yeah, so it doesn't say anything about like HomeKit or even other platforms. So I don't know. For HomeKit, there's a lot of other sensors that can work directly with HomeKit that I'd probably go for. Probably cheaper too. I would love this. Paul says, what do you think if Apple would make HomePods in a surround system like Sonos? It would be awesome if we could just use like our HomePod minis as rear speakers. I mean, that would be really cool. Yeah, I'd love that. Frederick, maybe you're snoring at night. Sounds like the wake word. Yeah. Or maybe you're talking in your sleep. Sometimes that happens. George says, I was excited about the new Hue security stuff, but it's all garbage. Pretty much not a single redeeming quality. Ooh, wow. Strong words there from George Langenbeer. George has a YouTube channel, guys. If you're not familiar with George's channel, check him out. Lots of security stuff and smart home stuff over there. So, George, do those... I mean, it looks like they don't support HomeKit. Maybe you know. I don't know if you've used the door sensors. I remember you saying you didn't like the cameras very much. Looks like the door sensors, I think they just want you to buy into their whole, monthly subscription service or whatever for the security and everything. Quickwing Curtis says, is there a moisture sensor that works on thread that doesn't require a hub? Thinking of setting up Apple Home for my boat. They would work well in the bilge. Thread that doesn't require a hub. The only thing I can think of is the Eve water sensor. The problem with that is that it has to be plugged in. So I don't know if that's something that you could do. This supports thread, doesn't require any additional hub. This is not your typical like little puck type of water sensor though. This has the long cable and this plugs into an outlet. So I don't know if you'd be able to use that. I'm trying to think of any other water sensors that doesn't require a hub that supports thread. I think that's the only one out there. Brian says, and Brian has been a channel member for 32 months. Brian, thank you so much for the continued support there. Brian says, do I know of any, or does anybody know of any smart water quality sensors that would integrate with HomeKit or Home Assistant? Water is on the mind. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Brian, I don't remember exactly, but there was some talk recently, I feel like, in our Discord server about this. It may have just been water temperature, so I don't know about water quality sensors. I don't know what you're trying to read from your water. Yeah, if you're trying to look for, like, if it's just, temperature and stuff like that, there's some things you can do, but I don't know about anything beyond that, but look through our Discord or drop a comment in there and we'll try to see. Baba isn't trolling. Says, question, do you think the iOS update will add new device types? Like iOS 18 you talking about? I don't know. It would be nice.